Yeah, hey, yeah. Shout to day 43, yo, that's the OG. Hex, crypto, big payday, you gon' see. Yo, it's November 19, that's the day they predict. Every time I spit, I bring the craziest shit. Shout to day 43, yo, that's the OG. Hex, crypto, big payday, you gon' see. Yo, it's November 19, that's the day they predict. Every time I spit, I bring the craziest shit. Yeah. Okay.
Man, thank goodness.
To justify what the hell we're doing here, man.
He's phony, she's fake. That's the type of people I hate.
Yo, y'all know the lyrics. Come on, sing with me. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural Charles Bon Voyage. Yeah, from the home of the dog.
Man, it's unwrecked. Thank goodness.
Welcome to the Hex Late Show. It's 43 OG here with you on a Tuesday evening. Before I do anything else, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's all this kerfuffle about? I heard there are hex wars going on. What is all this nonsense? It's nonsense. You have to remember one thing about Hex. Hex works on both chains, Ethereum and PulseChain. Works on both chains because it's real DeFi. It worked on Ethereum and now it works on Pulse. Don't forget that. You have a choice. All the other shit out there, you don't have a choice. It gets forked over, doesn't fucking work anymore. Hex works. Bluey. Mayo.
J43. Mayo.
Tangent. What's happening?
How late am I? Did you guys just start?
Right on time, bro. Right on time.
Sick.
So, what's going
What's
on?
going
Hex
on?
Wars. So Jexa writes to me. He wrote it in the chat. He goes, "Oh, you've got to title it Hex Wars or Hex Chain Wars tonight." So, he's not here to elaborate. He's not here to elaborate why. So, I just said my piece at the start. Hex is real DeFi, works on both chains, no problem. None of the other shit out there works on both chains. Fucking mic drop as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm a both chainer, if that's a thing. And I did go a little bit far today and chose violence, but yeah, it's that have you seen that meme where it's like the little violence slider? Like it's like a thing where it's just like click.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I was sitting there arguing with people on Twitter about this thing, and then I realized, hang on a second, I can just fuck their price to zero if they keep doing this nonsense. Like I can just literally destroy their shit and just like send a fucking message. So then I just got a bit mouthy about it and just started saying, look, if you guys don't shut up and stop fudding my bag, I'm going to literally send your shit to zero. And I believe they have shut up now. So it might have been a bit of a heavy-handed tactic, but I was just sick of it. I was just like, this is dumb. Like, this is really dumb. And I'm just like, it doesn't need to be this way.
Well, you're a hex. You're a hex.
I didn't
call your bluff on that shit.
I didn't literally say that. I didn't literally say that. I heavily implied it. I heavily implied that shit.
So you've got.
By the way, look, I was always a fan of not having everything staked. So let me just put it that way. Like, as in, because some people are like, oh, you're gonna have to like end stake. I'm like, no, I'm not. So the thing was, the more people that kind of like thought they were calling my bluff, the more I wanted to fucking do it immediately. I said I would wait till tomorrow morning to make a decision. And then when people were like, I bet you can't do that, I was just like, oh, bro, I'm fucking ready to do this shit. And then I had people DMing me being like, bro, I've been thinking the same thing. And these are not small players. Like, each of these people just individually could murder the price. And now they are thinking about coordinating to do it. So like, I may have actually set a train in motion that is a very dangerous place for anyone who is 100% allocated to one side of this. Like, I'm not like, I almost felt bad at one point where I was like, oh shit, now if this happens, I'm going to cop all the blame. But yeah,
this is like
hang on,
nuclear warfare of sorts. Nuclear warfare.
You'd just be shooting yourself in the foot. You'd just be, if you went and dumped the whole,
not really, because then I'll be out of that. I'll be out of that side, and I'll still have the side that didn't get crushed. By the way, the theory that some of these guys have is that the people that are shit talking HEX, they've already allocated over to that side, so they can't murder our price, but we can murder theirs. So it's not like they can so. I think it's a reasonable assumption that people that are shit talking that heavily have fully allocated over to the other side. So they can't murder my price, but I can murder their price. And if that's the case, then they can, like, they'll know whether or not they can retaliate. And so I think we might be seeing some people shutting the fuck up soon. Like,
I think less murder.
Or there's got to be some big egos at play.
Well, I just thought they're not learning. They're not taking the hint. They're not learning the lesson. Like, as in, we've tried to explain it to them. We've pretty much crushed every. You go.
I want to say a big shout out to the people in the chat, by the way. Everyone in the chat, how you going? We got T-Bird, Sammy Chica, Runski, Dingo Wolf, Klaz, Darb Kuda.
Sammy's actually going to come on.
RGS, Finbear. Loads of people in there. Loads of people.
Sick.
So I think this whole thing of like, oh, you know, I'm gonna murder this price, move over to this side, move over that. I just think it's like it seems to be the narrative at the moment, but it seems it's misguided in my opinion. I think what we should be doing is talking, not what we should be doing, what I'm doing anyway, is talking about how amazing it is that HEX just works on all the chains. It just fucking works. You fork it and it fucking works.
And 200% uptime still.
Yeah, and it's actually 400% uptime because all the other chains that it got forked onto, it still fucking works on them as well. It just fucking works everywhere. None of this other shit work. You tell me what works on all four chains. And people are out there going, what other fucking two chains are you talking about? I'm talking about, like, you know, there were other, like, before PulseChain, there were a couple of forks, full system state forks of Ethereum. And
no, they
HEX
haven't
fucking works on them.
But oh yeah, they were actually, weren't they? Full system state, yeah.
Yeah, and HEX works on them. And none of the other crypto shit works on all four. So this is a moment for celebration in my opinion. This should be a moment for celebration. Like,
it is.
HEX is the best shit out there. And we should be reminding every man and his crypto dog like that is the case.
I think so. I'm also celebrating 10K followers on Twitter. That just happened.
Oh, well done, Tangent. That's amazing. Yeah,
Pretty good.
Nice.
that's impressive.
And just to be clear, we didn't start this war. We told everyone, look, do whatever you want in crypto, just don't FUD our bags. And they wouldn't shut up. They just were obsessed with like doing this HEX needs to die for PHEX to survive.
What are you talking about? All it is a couple of people on Twitter. All it is a couple of people on Twitter kind of like asserting their opinion. And like, so what? Like, there's so much weight is given to people. So much weight is given to like a couple of people. Like the HEX community is like this because a couple of people in the community say that. Well, if there's chain wars because like a couple of people like mentioned that they wanted to, like put more emphasis on one chain over the other when, like going into the future.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It could be a vocal minority.
And they were slammed down pretty hard by like a lot more people. That was my impression. Like, who was it? It was just like Motley and like maybe one or two other people like saying that we should focus over here. And it's just like, which is really weird because like you're staked for, like if you're long-term staked, you're not going to be ending those stakes because you just nuke them. That's just complete waste of money. So you'd think that
some people EES. Some people did.
Yeah, so there's been some nukes, hasn't there?
So
yeah, but that's just real like kind of hashtag dumb cunt kind of stuff. Like seriously, like you go and nuke your whole bag, like.
Oh yeah, some of those were tragic. They were like 1,000 days served out of 5,555. So it's like you've been in that shit for like years, and then you nuke it and lose like almost everything.
That's most of it gone.
That's most of it gone after serving like a good 3 years or some shit, 2.5 years. Fuck.
That's like
that's tragic.
That's making a statement, isn't it?
Is tragic, man.
Proper dumb cunt.
Why would you even? I don't get the whole EES thing. Like, just leave it if you really don't.
See
like,
what
if
happens.
it's that bad, just leave it. Just
No. But if you think, you're right that if you're going to get your bag nuked, but say if someone really believes this hype that it's going to zero, like that, if someone buys into that HEX is going to die now because the PulseChain one's the real chain, then any economic energy that you can quickly extract out of it is better than zero, right? Like if you genuinely believe it's going to zero, then you'd be like, fuck it. I'm either going to get zero. Well, of course, yeah, but we know that it's unlikely to actually go to zero. But if someone really believes that it's going to go to zero, then wouldn't you just try and get anything you can out of it? And they probably maybe didn't do the math. In fact, do they? If they do a 1,000 ending at 1,000 out of 555, they get something, right? Even though
something,
you'd get something. So from that mindset,
you don't get your
you nuke it.
Well, you lose all your
they'd
interest and you probably
lose on the principal, wouldn't they?
But you probably get some.
You lose a massive chunk of your principal. You might lose all of it,
some, right?
Actually, you might actually
some
lose
of those
all of it.
ESs were losing everything. Like they were just straight up, like didn't know what they were doing.
Well, I guess if you're going to lose everything, then you might as well leave it and take the chance. But if you think that you can extract a small amount of money out of it, and that you genuinely believe that if you don't do that, it's going to zero, then if you believe that narrative, then it would be worth doing. Tough times, man. Tough times.
But also,
I got by the way, I've got no problem with people thinking that that's going to happen. Like if they think that that's going to happen, they want to play it that way, then I got no problem with them having that opinion. Everyone can do whatever everyone can do whatever they like. That's the beauty of systems like this, is you do whatever you like. You take in whatever information you like. If you want to do something, that someone else thinks is dumb, then that's your prerogative, and you hold the private keys, and that's the whole point. That's what DeFi is about, right? That's what it's about. You hold the private keys. No one can tell you no. You do what you want.
But also, we didn't see it actually go that low. Like it went to like down to 1.3, maybe 1.2, maybe even 1.1 cent, but it never got down to 1 cent or below. And that's what I was waiting for. I was like, I wanted to scoop it up around there. And I think there was a lot of people just in the background just waiting for it to go below a cent, man, because that's just bargain city.
I've got a question. Do you guys know if one of the, you know how we've got lots of really good sites in HEX with different charts and stuff? Like there's heaps and heaps. There's like probably about between 5 and 10 different sites that have awesome charts. Has anyone done the HEX try chart? So the HEX try chart should look like this. It should have the old. It should have like the old
EHEX, PHEX, and some of them.
It should have EHEX right up like from the start to the fork date, and then on the fork date it should have 3 lines coming off it. It should have EHEX, PHEX, and then the aggregate total of both of them. So like the total, it should. So the HEX try chart. Someone make the HEX try chart as described by me.
Hexfire.io. It's already done.
Yeah.
Is it done?
Yeah. I mean,
otherwise I'd say look into what Gerardo's doing.
Hexfire.io has the exact chart that you're talking about. EHEX, PHEX, and combined.
Is that Crispy? Is that Crispy?
Yep.
Crispy, you're a gun. Crispy, I think also. No, do you know what Crispy did as well? And I don't even know if he was listening to us, but you know how we were talking about the Mayer multiple, like we've talked about that multiple times over the last whatever, and then we were saying we needed a Mayer multiple chart for HEX, and then a few weeks later I find out that Crispy made one.
Oh, bro, he's actually gone to the next level, bro. He's thought of one that you didn't even think of. He's even got the plot for wrapped HEX, so wrapped EHEX over on PulseChain, and that's a separate chart. And then he has 2 combined charts, either the PHEX with EHEX or PHEX with the wrapped EHEX. So so you can actually see the difference between what's happening with the prices of that same HEX once it's on the other chain. I think that was not necessary to do, but just for completeness, he's gone the full distance, man. Holy shit.
Let me bring up this chart, by the way. I like this chart. I would like to see like a trading view like chart but maybe not just with a line, maybe. But like the original one, and then it diverges into 3. That's like super simple, super simple. Let me share this. Can you see that? Is that the one that we're looking at?
Yeah, that's the one. That is the one. How did you get
Crispy? You're a legend, bro. You are a legend.
Yeah, fucking legend. Absolute legend. Hexagon of the week.
Hexagon of the week. Hang on. Let me list. Where is it? There we go.
Lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
That's a knife.
All I had was me undies on.
Crispy Man is Hexagon of the week on the Hex Late Show. Great work, mate. Love it. Love the charts. Something else.
I love seeing stuff, bro.
This chart is lit.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's done some great stuff.
Check out that chart on hexfire.io.
It's fucking sick.
And I think if you want, there's some like next shit. If you subscribe or something, there's some next level like chart stuff on this site. So check that out as well. The other thing I want to talk about, which I think is probably the one of the best things I saw this week, just for the average person and everyday utility of someone who's got stuff on Ethereum and doesn't have any pulse, so they can't like do anything on PulseChain. Rabby Wallet, which is a wallet that we've talked about, for a while. Jexa found it. When did he find it? He found it a while back, and he's been
ages ago.
banging on
Ages
about
ago.
it. Yeah, ages and ages ago.
At least
and it's a good wallet. But
ages.
the only flaw that we can find with this wallet is that you can't do like totally custom RPCs. Right? You need to
it's got custom RPC in the settings. I just haven't tested
but not,
it.
Yeah, but not totally custom, like not like anything you like. So you can't just you couldn't put PulseChain in. They have to like okay it, if you know what I mean. They need to okay the chain.
Oh yeah, you can only add you can customize an existing chain. So you can change the RPC for an existing chain, but you can't do a new chain.
So Rabby Wallet
could you change one of these?
They've added Pulse.
Could you change one of these so that then you just know that when you go to like Palm or whatever? Oh no, okay, because it only lets you change number, the URL.
Yeah, there's all the other details. So what's great about Rabby is they have supported PulseChain, so it's supported. Now you can go and change the chain to PulseChain. And the other thing that's awesome is they've got this new thing that they've just come out with called gas top up. So how it works is if you've got a wallet or you've got an address with some Ethereum in it, let's say you've got some HEX, and then you've got, obviously on PulseChain, you've got that same address. You don't have any Pulse to do anything with it. So you're sort of stuck. Well, you're not with this option because you go and like, I think it's, you can like spend $20, $50 or $100 and transfer, or like basically do a cross-chain swap for Ethereum for Pulse, and you get some Pulse on the other side. I doubt very much the exchange rate is awesome, and they also like charge you 20% for the swap, so it's quite high. However, if you only need enough to do a swap, like so you can swap some, let's say you want to swap some HEX for Pulse, so you've got some more Pulse in your wallet, then maybe that's a price that you're willing to pay. I think it's a great option for people who have no other option.
Someone said it costs like $20.
It's all right, one time get you started price. It's just like a one-time get you started if you don't have any Pulse, really, isn't it? So it's
Well, there's also
a bit of a jump start.
There's a few options now though with that stuff. Like there's also Beetroot World.
Yeah, Beetroot's announced as well.
So, can I mention a few things that people have identified that's like that's less than ideal? Pretty much everything else about Rabby is pretty much perfect. So custom RPCs, mobile phone support, native hex stakes don't show correctly, and no dark mode. They're the only complaints that are legit. Everything else is pretty much perfect.
First world problems, boy.
Well, the
there's actually a couple of other things. It is a little bit buggy with some sites. Like I found with Icosa, the Icosa app, that it doesn't work. It just goes off sometimes. But all you have to do is disconnect it from Rabby and then reconnect, and it works fine.
Okay.
And also with Uniswap.hedron.pro, which is the front end that Alex built, it doesn't. With my browser, it doesn't work very well with that. But it's got some really cool things where you can just, like when you press the swap in Rabby Wallet, it'll go to, like, you've got a few choices, like, and one of them is Paraswap, which I quite like, because that's what often comes up with the best price. And
I think, guys, this is what I've come to the conclusion in the last like few years, is that there's not one solution that you can do like everything with when it comes to wallets, when it comes to like anything in crypto. So you need to like build up your arsenal of different things. Rabby is good for certain things. I've just found like a lot of this crypto stuff is very clunky on Linux. Like some stuff works better, other stuff, so it's good to be able, it's good to have like your MetaMask if you need it for certain things, like your go-to. it's good to have Rabby. You can't do the cross-chain swap of Pulse with MetaMask, but you can do it with Rabby. So it's just a solution out of the box for people out there who don't want to go and do anything else. You just do it from the wallet itself. You can do that cross-chain swap, and then you just got. I think it's pretty quick as well. Pretty quick when
Also,
I tried it out.
Don't forget Internet Money Wallet.
Has anyone tried the beetroot swap yet? Do we know?
I haven't, but I want to.
I haven't tried it to Pulse, but I've used it in the past to Monero, and it works fantastic.
So remember Block Blend, Beetroot, and there was something else as privacy solutions that I need to test.
Yeah, that block
was Safe Trade one of them?
Nah,
no. So that's a centralized exchange, but it was working fine as so. If all you care about is breaking the ability for people to see on chain, so if you're like, say you're sending money to a friend and you just don't want them to know how much money you have in your wallet, you could literally go through something like Safe Trade, where you just make the account, burn her email, send it into the exchange, and then withdraw it to another wallet. And it means if your friend tries to trace that, all they're going to see is the wallet, then they're probably going to think you're actually even richer than you are, because they're going to actually trace it to the wallet of the exchange. But so it won't be linked. It won't be linked to your wallet. So as far as that goes, that's not a bad way to break the on-chain. But I don't know if that would be considered to be like a true privacy solution. So it depends on what you're depends on what you're chasing.
Hurry Cash is all we've got right now on chain on PulseChain. As far as I know, Hurry Cash is the only option out there that if you don't want to be dealing with like a third party. Now, I know there's some things.
Have you actually used it? I couldn't get it to work.
Couldn't you?
So Dozer gave me a workaround with something that you have to do, like you have to change some setting or something, but I haven't had time to test that. When I was just trying to use it, just how you would normally use it, like you'd use.
Did you put the contract address in the cog? You need to put the contract address in there.
That's what Dozer told me. I hadn't done that. Why is that? Why do you have to do that? Why not just make it work?
Maybe because if they do it that way, no one can say to them, "Oh, you guys are providing the solution."
Oh,
if you know what I mean. It's like it's the user who's putting the contract address in there. It's actually like a clever way.
Good
of
point.
Maybe getting around that.
So they did not provide a functional solution. It's being abused. It's being abused by the user and using it in not the way they intended. They could argue.
We should try to get them on. Hey,
Sammy, what's up?
Hi,
Sammy.
Hello. What's happening?
Not much.
Not much. We're nerding out, Sammy. We're nerding out.
I know. I was listening to you nerd out. So I was putting my face on, so we'd come and say hello. And my advice to anyone fudding the HEX price is they're going to regret selling. That's all I'm saying right now.
Yeah, exactly. I've been talking tough, Sammy. I've been talking a big game. I've been throwing out threats and shit, just acting like a fucking tough guy. And so
I love it.
But yeah, I agree with you. I agree that I think it's a rookie mistake. And in fact, someone said, whenever you hear someone saying this crypto is going to zero, that's a buy signal. That is literally a buy signal. It's like when people are like, this crypto is going to the moon. That's a sell signal. So
yeah, especially Richard Hart stuff. Like he doesn't want to see cheap HEX anywhere.
Yeah, dude.
I get it. Like, stop bickering. I mean, what the hell's going on?
That was actually the most powerful thing that someone said that I hadn't thought of myself was, imagine that RH wouldn't want to have at least one product representing his shit over on the chain that's most likely to get the initial institutional investment. Like, that's retarded to think that he wouldn't at least want to be represented over on that chain when that money starts flowing in.
And it will. You watch. It will. It's not just going to die. And, these guys...
Speaking of money flowing in, can we talk about that random possible Binance address put money in?
Oh, yeah. What was with that? But sorry, Sammy, you
what are you talking about? Yeah, what's that?
So someone posted I think I shared the link in our group somewhere. Someone posted a transaction hash of a PulseChain Binance.eth address, bridging across a lot of funds and holding a lot of funds on PulseChain. To sum it up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you want to try and bring it up somewhere. 43. I'm a bit laggy.
Let me just quickly before we move on. We were talking about Hurricash, guys. This is Hurricash here. It's a privacy solution on PulseChain. And
what's the URL there? 43. I can't see it on my phone.
Well, you just go to hurricash.com. It's HURRICASH.com, and then you just open the app from there. So
and then where do people get that address or whatever from? You know
the contract address.
To go into the
I think it's in the Telegram group. Make sure you go into the right one because I think there's a scam one.
Ooh. Sounds like a minefield. Sounds dangerous. Don't forget to study the blade before you start this journey.
Exactly. So my suggestion is for people, if you want to play around, just put in 10,000 pulse. Don't start off with big amounts. Like, start with 10,000 pulse. 10,000 pulse is like it's like a couple of dollars or something. I don't know how much is 10,000 pulse. It's like $2.
Yeah, I think it might be
$1.50.
So the way these things work and the way how they work well is with anonymity set. The more people who interact with it, the better they are over time. So at the moment, 10,000 Pulse has 59 deposits that have occurred. The 100,000 Pulse has only had 24. A million Pulse has had 122 deposits, and 10 million Pulse is currently not in use. So it's actually closed. So you can't do that one anyway. But people should play around with this stuff if you feel comfortable doing so. 10,000 Pulse is not much, and like the way it works is that you can make it come out on another address with no link to the address that it comes from originally. So if you want to, let's say you want to gift something to someone, you can make it come out like, let's say you want to give someone even if you just want to give someone some Pulse and not dox your wallet. This is a way that you can do it. You can like send Pulse to an address.
Yeah.
And
pay employees, pay
your wallet.
Hey,
it's like
or setting up a merch store.
Hey, so some people in the chat have been mentioning RH's latest tweet, which is pretty full on. And we should probably go through that.
What does it say?
A lot of us have been LPing on pairs that aren't don't attract rewards. Have been wondering how much fees we're getting, because when you do it on things like Uniswap, you see your actual fees, but we haven't been able to see. We haven't been able to see the fees in the Pulse XLPs, and so it turns out we actually haven't been earning fees.
That's a V2 V3 thing. It's not a Uniswap versus PulseX thing.
No, yes, it is. Read his tweet. And what's been happening is all of the rewards have been going into PulseX.
To the buy and burn?
To the buy and burn. Which is maybe why the buy and burn has been so much. And it's what it means is that we haven't been earning rewards this whole time.
Oh, no. So are they going to rectify that, or?
What the fuck?
Probably.
Why would he admit this? Transparency is good, but
why would he admit this?
So is this fixable? Can they just?
Yeah, I'm sure it's fixable, dude.
I'm sure it's. You'd
it's
hope
fixable.
so. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
The PulseX buy and burn gets all the fees, leaving none for the LP. This same code has been in use for years of test nets. No one noticed, including this. The fix that leaves fees for the LPs is on the right below. The current code is left. This has nothing to do with the ink token that the LPs earn in the farms. When the new pairs exist with the new logic, everyone can move over to them if they wish, or they can stay where they are, earning no fees. But giving more to the buy and burn, or you could pull your LP. In summary, if you are an LP in PulseX currently, then you are not earning fees unless you're in a farm, in which case you're earning ink token.
But no fees.
The code you have been running is public and open source. So you can see there below.
But is it ready to be pulled and put back? And then if so, are the farms going to be updated as well? Like,
well, you'll have to.
So from this is no, hang on. This is here's that in here. Okay, this part here.
Oh, I'll let you know when the new code is live.
Yeah, when the new pairs exist with the new logic, so that it's going to be updated. Everyone can move over to them if they wish, or they can stay where they are, earning no fees.
Yeah, that means that if you are in a farm, that means if you are in a farm, you'll have to pull the LP and redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as in, are they going to need to reset the farms to be so that the stake token, like the LP that's valid for the farm, is going to be the new?
No, that's what I'm saying. You'll have to pull that. You'll have to pull the farm LP and re-put the LP and then re-put the farm.
But what I'm saying is, because the farms know whether what the token is that's required, so they would need to actually update the farms to be for the new ones to be valid.
That's a master chef that has. There's a master chef like Sushi Swap had, which basically decides how much INC and what the emission rate is. It's a per second rate, and they decide how many ink per second is emitted, and which pools get that emission rate. Okay, which pools get how much INC. So that's just one person deciding, and they can change anything.
So people have basically been risking impermanent loss just to get the INC token.
They've actually been losing. They've been losing out.
No, you don't lose.
This doesn't affect the INC. This doesn't affect the INC.
Yes, it does. No, it doesn't affect the INC, but it affects the pool fees. So they've been losing out on a permanent loss. So we've been losing out on a permanent loss this whole time because we haven't been collecting any fees.
No, guys. Whoa.
So it's just been a loss, not an impermanent loss?
You don't lose impermanent loss. Like, impermanent loss is to do with the fluctuation of the assets and the ratio that you're holding.
We're ending up with a shitter asset.
So all the impermanent loss shit is exactly the same. It's just that you haven't. No, it's the same. It's the same, but you just haven't been earning.
When you're in a pool, you get rewarded with fees, which helps offset whatever that impermanent.
Yes.
And permanent loss is a really dumb term, first of all. Well, let's just call it a rebalancing or something like that. So
yeah, but let's be clear about this. That side of it. So the fees, like you said, those fees would normally help to offset the impermanent loss, but the impermanent loss is identical. The fees are not there that should be there, and the incentive token unaffected. So basically, people have been exposing themselves to the risk of impermanent loss, the identical risk of impermanent loss that they would have anyway, with no reward of fees. Is the problem?
Yeah, but that just accentuates the impermanent loss. Normally, if you're in an LP, you'd be getting rewards, and so that impermanent loss would be kind of like it's part of the rewards, like.
But no, but they're two separate things. They're two separate things. You don't need to combine them into one thing. The fee reward is not part of the impermanent loss. The impermanent loss is referring to how your asset allocation changes as the price shifts. So it's separate from the fees.
Well,
you said it correctly when you said the fees typically help to offset that, and same with the incentive token as well. So yeah, that does suck.
So,
It's
guys,
fucked.
what do you think we should do if we're farming? Should we pull our liquidity and then put it back right in?
Well, at the moment, you're earning such high rewards on the INC token that you probably just may as well keep them in there. Although, if you could actually, I don't know, like, yeah, because you're earning so much, maybe you keep it in there. It depends how quickly they get this fix done. Maybe you just pull it to be safe, so you've got what you've got.
The
kind of up to
people
you.
that I feel for are the ones who had LPs that weren't farms, that weren't
like
farm
that's what I
or
was
bull.
doing. Yeah, like I've just been losing out on that.
That means that people have just been getting.
And also, like, it's a bit of a shit because we're all wondering, like, well, how many? And we're trying to work out how many fees we're collecting, and it was really hard to know because normally on Uniswap it shows you how much fees you're getting, but on PulseX it didn't show you how many what kind of fees you were getting. You just had to kind of guess, or you could try to calculate it. But it turns out we weren't getting any, and so all we were doing was getting re-ratioed.
Uniswap V3. Only if it's V3. V2 doesn't. But yeah, you're right. So that was part of the problem, was because there was no interface that showed people what they were earning. It meant it was less likely that people were going to pick up that there was a problem.
But in V2, don't they show the fees? It doesn't show fees?
No.
Okay.
On Pulse Burn, PulseX has burned 81 billion PulseX. And so what we're saying
that's the real winners. The winners are PulseX holders.
So what we can say here is that number will increase at a much lower once the new
once it's fixed.
LPs are in.
Slower.
Yeah, a lot
like a
slower.
third slower or something.
Do you think that's how someone noticed that they're like, wait a second, this burn rate is too high?
Probably,
maybe they were trying to work out how we show the fees or something.
I thought it was a lot. I thought it was like so much more than Pulse, and I don't remember. I just didn't.
We were all talking about it, weren't we? Like, how much are we burning?
So when we entered the pools at over 2,000% APR, that's all bullshit, and that
No, that's right. That's just the INC token. That has nothing to do with the fees.
Okay.
No one picked it up, man. Like no one can say shit. Right? No one can say anything because it was open source code, and no one picked it up. No one. Far out, man.
That's crazy.
Picked it up. Well, they picked it up now, and now anyone who held PulseX is better off because 81 billion tokens got burnt, and that's way more than what it would have been.
Ironically, PulseX has been like the worst performing asset over on that chain. Well, out of the kind of all the tokens.
I know, right?
You know,
yep.
If I had released that spreadsheet to everyone who asked for it, then maybe someone would have actually picked it up. Remember how I had a spreadsheet that I'd been using on other chains to try and work out roughly what the fees are that are being earned. That spreadsheet would have picked it up, but I was fucking about I wanted to clean it up for public use before distributing it. That would have definitely picked it up because it would have been it would have shown that there was no fees getting generated.
This is why HEX is number one.
I can't believe
HEX is number one. People fucking around with trying to make yield elsewhere. Quit fucking around, guys. HEX is number one, immutable, 100% uptime, 400% uptime. How many times do I have to say it?
Oh, bro.
You can't fuck with HEX. HEX is number one.
400 times.
One of my farms has grown. I don't know how it grew, but it's grown.
It's just re-ratioed. So... It's just basically like the ratio changed of what you have.
Yeah.
Like you have more of the thing that's going down in value.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, we're at the cutting edge. We're the testers.
How long's that been? Like 2 weeks?
But there was test nets. It was on all of the test nets as well. That's been a couple of years. No one's picked it up.
Oh yeah, true. I noticed Richard's got comments turned off on that on that tweet.
Right?
Has he?
Yeah, dude. It's like only people that he's mentioned can reply, but he hasn't atted anyone. So it's like effectively comments off.
I can see a couple of replies.
Oh,
I saw no comments
What?
off.
are you sure?
There's some, yeah. Go. Eddie wrote, "LOL. How
Oh.
could nobody not notice this?"
Hey, I see.
And then
replies.
Oh, hold
very
up.
good catch from Ted DeFi PLS.
So he has reissued the tweet, like freaking like 15 minutes later, with comments turned off. So if you go to his page, so it's got two versions. He must have Twitter Blue, and so you're right. There's 88 comments on the first one, and then he's edited it and turned the comments off. But you're right that people were able to comment on the first version.
Yeah, I was just
but it's
learning
gone.
about how
Gone
to
now.
edit a tweet
It's gone.
today.
It's gone. If you click on that pre-edit version, it won't let you go there anymore. It says this page doesn't exist. So the comment,
Yeah, doesn't it just take you to the most updated tweet?
Yep. So if you were able to read comments, then you were lucky because no one will be able to see them anymore.
There were only like 3 comments, and there was nothing of any interest. But they, like, I'm guessing some hate came in hard and fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on 583 likes and
the emotions.
143 retweets, 88 comments.
Quit fucking around.
And then it switched to no comments.
Hex. Stake your hex.
But that's a good update. Like that, as in I'm impressed.
Oh, it says it right here.
Like he's owning it. You know what I mean? He's owning it.
Yeah.
Just by Hex, you can't. Those beanies are epic, man.
Can we have a better look at that on screen?
Hang on. Is that all right? Oh, no.
There we go.
You know, I'm proud of Richard for fucking owning this. He could have tried to just fix it and not publicize the mistake and just be like, and he could have just been like, hey guys, we've updated the contracts to make them even better and do a few bug fixes and shit. Pull your LPs and put them in this new shit. Like he could have just tried to, and the community would have backed him. Like as in the community would have been like, yeah, Richard's the fucking best. Don't fucking shut up, you haters. Like as in he could have tried to slide this one fucking under the fucking rug or whatever your chosen saying is. If you're like one of those Canadian guys that does the lawn bowls on the ice or whatever. But he just fucking owned it. He went out large and he was like, yo, there's a fuck up. There's a bug in the code. Just a bug, bro. And owned it. I'm impressed by this.
Yeah, that's good. Does it not give you a bit more, I don't know, trust? It's more trust, isn't it? More trusting in the man.
Yeah.
So
I really like this.
So honest.
I actually really like this. Yeah. Because I believe he could have easily snuck this past if he had wanted to.
Someone would have found out, and then it wouldn't have been good because they still would have had to get everyone to migrate over to the new things, and then people would have gone and compared the old code to the new code, and then they would have been like, you're trying to sneak one by us. So he's done what you have to do in these situations, which is just be transparent. Yeah. It is what it is.
And who's
move on. That's it.
For what we've been given, like our rewards have been fantastic. I'm not complaining.
If you've been in the farms, everyone else got fucked.
Right.
Everyone else
right.
got
Everyone
fucked.
else is sucking balls.
Farmer Sammy.
That's the wild, wild west of DeFi. You never know what you're gonna get.
That's the wild, wild west.
You should be thankful. You should be thankful you've even still got your funds at all. It could have been a bug that made you lose.
But you know what you're gonna get with a Hex.
So Take this. This is lightweight shit. This is a lesson. This is a cheap lesson. Just some missed fees. You could have lost your entire stack. Fuck, can you imagine people who went in large? Shit, dude.
Basically, anyone who is like in those, even in the, if you're in a farm, you kind of lost out because of the long-term kind of ratios that you just have to eat.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Especially if you had like PulseX and you like basically got raped on
I was just thinking of that exact pool. There was like hundreds of millions of dollars in that pool.
Yeah. So the INC makes it,
I'm with.
It's like eating a shit sandwich. Like the INC makes it nice because we've got a lot of bread, but we still basically just ate a shit sandwich.
I'm with Archie S on this. Didn't do any of this stuff. Trying to do the less is more approach. Yes, I'm in that same exact boat. I like crypto where I don't have to look at it for a couple of months. I don't have to if I don't want to. That's what I like about this shit.
Yeah, it's a good.
I ain't getting the crypto to get another
I agree
job.
with that.
But you love it. You want it.
I ain't getting the crypto to get another job, so I have to sit there clicking shit. Like I really didn't. I hate doing that. I do enough clicking every day just from other random shit.
For me, it's fun though. Like for me, like when I set up my HEX staking ladder,
you enjoy it. Man.
Like when I set up my HEX staking ladder, that was one of my thoughts. Is like I don't want to do just like one stake a year. Then I won't be. I'll have nothing to do for a year. I want to like at least do something once a month.
Boys.
It's fun.
Oi, boys and girls, yo. You can see the people who are really desperate to be able to comment if you click the quote tweets. So you can see an Eric Wall, literally top of the list, first bug found. Some of these comments, bro. So yeah, you can get, if you want to see, these are the people who are so keen to comment that because they couldn't comment, they've retweeted it.
Oh, they quote tweeted it, right?
Oh, yes. Coast is agreeing with me. Thanks for being transparent.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh, thank you for being transparent. It's like, that's what you have to do and what you should have done and what he did. So,
yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Some people are excited about the excess burn. Some people are like, fuck yeah, let it burn.
Yeah. It's interesting, because now PulseX, you would think, actually becomes less deflationary when this fix comes into it. And so is that less bullish for PulseX? A little bit, I suppose. Like the burn was pretty insane on PulseX.
Someone's asking for a refund. But they're serious though. They're serious. They're not joking. Shit, dude. This is DeFi, bitch. You didn't study the blade before you got here, and now you want a refund, dude. No takebacks.
So, hey, do you guys want to know what I've been up to? I want to tell you what I've been up to. So,
dude,
yeah, tell us your plans.
So, I've also got a shout out to Dub, who's in the chat. Hey, Dub, as usual, one of the show supporters. So, we're organising a big HEX Pulse Australia meetup. The first one we're all going to get together. It's going to be in Sydney on the 13th, 14th, and 15th of October. So we're aiming to have a dinner on the Friday night, a harbour cruise on the Saturday, and a brunch on the Sunday. We've already got 65 plus people in a group chat who are coming. So it's going to be pretty big. I think we're expecting between 80 to 100 people. So we've been busy doing stuff for that. We've still got a few months to do stuff, thank goodness, because it's a lot of organising to do. But yeah, so I hope you guys can all come. I know you're not coming, Leon. Maya, you're coming.
Yeah, I should be right. I'm a goer.
Awesome. And if anyone hasn't seen the tweet where I invited everyone and you can come for it, just that's the tweet there. If you want to DM me, I'll get to you, and all you need to do is follow me and I'll add you to our group chat. If you're not on Twitter, you can Facebook me or Telegram me. I'm the same name all across the board. And I've got starting a group on Facebook as well, just so we can all keep you in the loop. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited about meeting everybody.
So this is the invite here.
Speaking of
Australian HEX Pulse meetup, October the 13th, 14th, 15th, 2023. The itinerary is Friday evening, there's going to be a dinner. Saturday, there's going to be a harbour cruise. And then on Sunday, there's going to be not breakfast, not lunch, but brunch.
Yeah.
There's going to be a few hazy people, hazy minds on that Sunday brunch.
I know. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Unread Pirate might be coming down. I was having a chat to him. He might be coming down for it. So that'd be good. Katie.
I might have a bit of an entree for leading up to your big meetup. I just got news yesterday from the guy. I'm trying to organise a small venue in Brisbane as well. So we might do a Brisbane meetup in the next month or two. I just got to, and I'll post it up and share it on for the Brisbane people.
People want them. People want Brizzy meetups. People want Perth meetups. So, you know, there's definitely a demand for them. You know? So
yeah, South Bank, Brisbane, it should be pretty good.
Nice. Very, very good.
That'd be good. We'll get to meet some down there. So get to know me. Oh, sorry. Sorry, my lagginess is really shit.
All right. It's all good, man. It's all good. That's what we're known for. We're renowned for our lagginess.
Here in
I saw a tweet from, I think it was a tweet from someone, or maybe it was in the Telegram group. It's really not relevant where I found it. But I found a site by Maximus called PulseChain. And it's a site where you can go. It's produced by the Maximus DAO guys. So that's Dipcatcher, and I'm not sure if it's also Gold Key or not, but it's called PulseChain, and you can input an Ethereum token address and get the bridged token address on PulseChain out. So it just gives you contract addresses and stuff, and you can switch the chain to input the PulseChain token contract address and get the bridge token address on Ethereum. So I thought that's a handy tool, and I've got a browser with all of the tools, and I shit you not, there's probably about 50 different, websites that HEX and Pulse websites that I've got in this list, and this is the newest one that I've just added to the list.
Awesome. I saw
there's so many community made tools now.
I saw Dipcatcher put out a tweet about people being scammed, and I just got actually promoted to a admin in PulseChain room. So I'm admin PulseX, PulseChain Inc, and HEX Australia. So admins will never DM you. Don't ever answer them. That's what he was getting at. That someone's answered someone. They might say they're Sammy and have my photo and look exactly like my name, but they're not. They're scammers, and they're demanding seed phrases and things like that. Just never answer them. Always report, block. And the same things with those airdrops. I've had a Hexagon contact me who's lost Hex in an airdrop. He got his wallet drained. Remember, there was no airdrops. The only one we got was the one that Richard gave us when we forked. You'll find there's so many accounts, and they have big follow accounts on Twitter, and they'll be saying free airdrop for this, free airdrop. Never connect your wallet to them, because chances are it's going to be a scam. Okay.
Yes. True. Scammers everywhere.
Everybody wants your Pulse and Hex bags. Don't give it to them.
That's right.
So Bluey,
another thing
tell me
that
something.
another thing that's been like interesting lately is Alex has been putting out some tweets. Alex from Hedron Icosa fame has been putting out some tweets. He has got some interesting stuff that he's cooking up, and a number of us have been trying to work out what it is. If we could go over some of the things he said. Actually, I put them in
Have you got those tweets?
Well, yeah. Well, you just go through his Twitter feed basically, or I actually, if you go to the Icosa chat,
well, do you want to find them? You find them quickly, and I just want to respond to this question in the chat about. Okay, so film noir and classic movies in HD. Nobody has been able to answer this. I have not been able to stake or unstake PHEX. Any advice or news?
Use the Hedron site.
So yeah, I would go to app.icosa.pro and try that site.
That's the only place you can make hex stakes now on PulseChain.
Richard even tweeted it out and said that to use that if you're having trouble with the main site. Note that not everyone is having trouble with the main site, so it's not.
Hey guys.
Hey Jackson.
How are we all?
Hey Jack.
Did we answer the question? Did we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was listening to you guys on the way home in the car. I've obviously missed something in the hour that I was out. A bit of a debacle with the farms or something, was there? With the providing liquidity. Yikes! Or more, was it more of a voice? Sounds interesting. Yep. So no one was getting any fees, eh?
I'm not that upset about it, even though like it definitely there would definitely be a noticeable impact to me, like financially, but I'm not that upset about it because I don't think I would have got wrecked on any of the ratios.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a little bit more upset if you were in a pool where you actually sacrificed your asset balance. But yeah, it's just
that would explain why I was wondering why I broke even.
Checks. I was saying people should just be thankful that they didn't lose their entire stack. Because sometimes if there could have been a different bug where the shit just got lost forever.
Yeah. Got to be grateful for that.
So this is a tweet from Alex. Alex is Alex Hedron Alex. People have no idea what I'm about to do. And to my knowledge, it's never been done before. At least not in the way I'm about to try and do it.
Oh, shit.
It really doesn't even have much to do with me, but more to do with everyone as a whole. Now, excuse me, but what the fuck is he talking about here?
It's very cryptic, hey? But like, there's a lot of clues, right? So I'm gonna see if I can share another screen. Hang on.
Break this down for us.
I hope he's giving us some more free money.
Can I share it? Oh, I can't share like a.
What are you trying to share?
My Telegram. Oh, here I can. Yeah, I can. Okay, you can
sure
see
you
that.
Want me to share this?
Yeah. It's just Telegram.
Sure?
Yeah, it's just Telegram.
Okay.
So, if you look at this is something that he said quite a while ago. So now that Pulse is out, time to share something I've been working on, a marketplace for HSIs and Wattses where user can list their NFTs for sale, either at a fixed price or as an auction where the user can set the starting bid. Auctions perform just like Hedron auctions. The marketplace will use ICOSA as the token to purchase these. Fees from sales are sent to a zero address, so they're burnt. More details to come. And then I've just put in a few bits of evidence kind of thing, so we can kind of try to piece together something. So about forking Rocket Pool, trying to think of any reason not to make the protocol/insurance token ICOSA. And then something else, something someone should think about, HSI Blender, sending HSI NFTs to it, it unwraps them and keeps them there, rewraps them with our new token ID on exit. Not entirely private, but you could maybe mix multiple short HSIs into one big one inside the blender to achieve it. There's just and then there's this other one. Users can time lock arbitrary amounts of pulse, no hardware required. Validators use some of their pulse as collateral, but also get extra pulse from the user's time locking. If a validator gets slashed, the rewards are auctioned off proportionally to the users. Maybe you can come up with some cool customization tools. Just an idea. Yeah, like.
Do you think that's a blend of a few different things, like not specifically related to that tweet though? Like he's obviously got a few things that are floating around.
He's got a few things in his mind, exactly. So that's what I'm just trying to think, like, what is it? And then some of us have been thinking, because one thing he's mentioned before is an index fund of like RH tokens. And so we're thinking, maybe he's got some sort of plan where you choose what tokens you want and then you buy them with ICOSA, and then that gets minted as an NFT. And that you can, I guess, redeem it at some point. You need really big ICOSA pools with each of the tokens, though. He's planning something. He's got something up his sleeve. It sounds
I've seen the thing about Rocket Pool, and I'm probably a little bit lukewarm on using ICOSA as the insurance token for Rocket Pool, simply because like Rocket Pool's got a whole governance mechanism around it, and then you're taking something that's related to HEX and its ecosystem, and then embedding that into a governance protocol for the validators. And I think that's probably mixing two different protocols that don't. Like, I think it just added complexity that you probably don't want, and it'll mean that you'll put governance from Rocket Pool in the hands of people that have already got a large amount of ICOSA or are getting gifted a large amount of ICOSA. So I think that's probably a bit lukewarm on that one, to be honest. But I think the idea of a Rocket Pool is, definitely we need it. But I don't know if that's related to what that other tweet. That other tweet sounds a little bit more cryptic.
Yeah.
Jexer, can you please explain what is Rocket Pool for people listening? They may not necessarily know what it is.
So it's a liquid staking protocol. ETH has a number of them, and basically it's like think of it like a marketplace. So you've got a few different players in the ecosystem. You've got guys that are good with technology, so they can run the actual hardware, the validators, know how to configure that and optimize that. So they bring that side of things to the market, and they put up the initial plan was, and I think it's changed a bit now, they bring for ETH 16 ETH in collateral and the skills to run a validator. And then on the other side, you've got people that hold Ethereum but don't have the technical chops to run the validators. So they bring the other side of that stake that's required. So the other 16 ETH. So combined, you get your 32 ETH. But slashing can happen. So how do you protect the guys that are bringing the stake, just the stake component? How do you protect them from the incompetence of someone running a node that cocks up? So then there's a secondary token, which when you put your ETH in, you get given the synthetic token, so SETH or something like that, staked ETH. And that becomes, I think there's three tokens. There's the staked ETH token, and there's another token, the Rocket token or whatever it's bloody called. And that's like an insurance and governance token. So it's quite a complex little protocol with a lot of moving parts. And I think if you if you take that and then try and bolt something else on the outside of it, you might just mess with the governance side of it a little bit too much.
Yeah, I remember him saying it might be in the too hard basket as well. I think for those reasons, the whole rocket
Still,
the whole rocket pool fork. But just look at this other tweet that I've shared. It might give us a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people think the retail stores are dead, but I actually don't. There's plenty of room for retail to exist. They just need to specialize. No one wants to go to a mall where every store sells the same things, but a mall full of specialty stores that sell more niche items or hard to find things would be cool. So maybe that gives us a bit of a hint as to what he's about to release.
That sounds more along the lines of the marketplace thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Has anyone successfully done cross-chain NFTs?
Yes, no, but he has talked about that in the past as well. I think where you take an NFT and bridge it, so you get a basically a representation of that NFT on another chain, and but that's also comes back into bridging problems, which I don't know haven't fully been solved either. But maybe it's got something to do with being able to bring over like HSIs from Ethereum over to PulseChain. Or
there was something of interest. So can you bring up his tweet again? Because there was something of interest, and I think it was he done that first tweet, and then there was another comment he threw in below. Have you got that one?
Yeah. Pull it up. I think it's
there was something about maybe go up to the original one. It might have been at the bottom of the original one. No, what was the first tweet that he had up where he?
Yeah, people have no idea what I'm about to do. That one.
Yeah. Yep. Are fixed paradigms truly fixed?
Oh yeah. Or malleable
with enough willpower.
Do
you think that's what's a fixed thing that we know? Something that can't be altered at the moment. Yeah.
NFTs.
So I'm wondering whether he's come up with some novel way of releasing that value or making it more portable.
Like what? The stakes or the NFTs? What are you thinking?
Can you have a representation of a stake that is somehow portable? I don't know. I'm not sure how. Just sort of thinking off the cuff here.
Yeah, like NFTs. A stake becomes an NFT.
It would have to be, because you can't encapsulate it, so it's already in the contract. So you'd have to have a representation of it or something. I'm not sure. I don't know how you.
That's what Wats's are, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a wrapper around it. Yeah. Don't know. I'm not sure if there's some other way you can represent it.
Could you give could a contract be made that allows an EES to happen on one of your stakes under certain circumstances? Could something like that be done? And then based on that, then you can leverage that. Could a contract be written that you give it permission to EES one of your stakes under certain circumstances, if certain circumstances are met? Is that something that could happen?
Well, it sounds like it's possible, but I don't think that emergency end staking would be anything that he would be like planning or putting into a contract.
No, but like as a point of at any one time, if you can calculate when something's emergency end staked, you can calculate what the loss is going to be and what the profit's going to be, and based on that, you could say, well,
you need an oracle.
If you don't do the right thing over here, if you don't fill your fulfill your responsibilities, then that could trigger an EES on this over here. Could something like that happen?
Like a penalty? Yeah, it doesn't sound very Alex, though. I think he's very anti-EESing. And that would also require oracles to work out whether things are in profit or not in terms of USD.
I don't, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not if you're just working in terms of the token.
Well, how do you work out if something's in profit or not?
No, it's got nothing to do with profit. It's just got to do with
that's what
HEX. It's got nothing to do with USD.
Okay, maybe I didn't understand what you were explaining then.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking aloud. I'm just wondering whether that would be possible. And if something like that's possible, then how could you do something potentially somewhere else with
Could you would there be a way he could do something that you could bridge the HSIs across and unstake or stake on PulseChain somehow? Or any kind of staking functions on the other chain?
Yeah. I wonder if there's some way you could have a pool of funds that can be used to pay for gas fees on Ethereum, but you trigger it from PulseChain or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you can do stuff. I think with flash loans, like, and there's something on Zen where they basically like you get a flash loan to end their stake, and so you don't have to pay with gas. It just comes out of the actual what you'll get, and so I can't see why you couldn't do that on HEX as well. Like, and then you could do things like people could pull in money to end that. Another thing where people could pull in money to end that stake, and so then they get a bit of a cut for ending that stake from the end state.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. He's a clever fella.
He's the most innovative in the space, I reckon. Like of all of the founders, he's coming up with the most really truly interesting kind of stuff.
He's always doing stuff as well. Like he's very like he's always cooking something up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like like after he released Hedron and Icosa, he was like building the data center. It's like he's always doing something, man.
Yeah, and he's also was I think quite involved in what's it called, Hex Scout.
Yeah,
which we've got a bit more information about, which basically sounds like a straight up staker app.
Well, it sounds.
Do we know a bit more about that yet?
Yeah, it's looking amazing. It's like an onboarding tool, and it's also a place where you can track all of your stuff on a phone or on a website. It's like what Staker Apps was going to be, but I figure that they probably dropped the ball a little bit, and because you couldn't do any of that Hedron or Acosta stuff on there. So
I'm a big fan of Hexbase. Have you guys heard of that? Hexbase.de/service/staker. You can put in multiple addresses, and it will add them all up, and you can see all the info that you would have seen from Staker. So it's got like all of the categories and stuff just there, and it's on a website rather than being on your phone.
Is it? Yeah. So it's multi-chain.
It's not multi-chain.
Yeah. Fatty is multi-chain.
Yeah. No, Fatty's done a pretty good job. I'm having a few glitches with that. It seems to not picking up prices, and I tend to get more failures than success. But when it works, it's good. Like it's
43. Did you say this is not cross-chain? So it doesn't. Which chain out of Hex and which chain does it not do?
It's Ethereum, but I would be very surprised if he doesn't add support for PulseChain. I'd be very, very surprised. But I'm not sure. I would ask him myself if I knew where to go ask him. I've got no idea.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the people behind Hex Scout, and so they're probably just going to release that.
Yeah, Hex Scout looks pretty polished.
Yeah.
And
can we bring that up? Where is it?
Yeah, what's the
all
website?
All we've got is their Twitter. All we've got is their Twitter and the stuff they've released on Twitter.
But you guys said there's a desktop client for those who can't get mobile, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they've said. And I think I reckon the thing that we really need, that it sounds like they're doing, and I hope they do a really awesome job on it, is the Block Explorer.
Yeah,
because at the moment, that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that was funny.
Sorry. They're all just teething problems, though, aren't they, really? I mean, what, the chain's 2-3 weeks old?
So,
yeah.
I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not bitching and moaning. Fuck, it's
yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts that that stuff that's minor in the grand scheme of things. That's just little years.
Yeah, but they have had 2 years to be working on it. Like,
yeah.
You'd think an Explorer should have been like a polished Explorer should have been out day one. I would have thought. Like,
hey, tangent. You got to go to hexscout.com and polish your Parrot OS skills up and see if you can get in. See if you can hack into that site. Hey.
Well, it's down. It's like not available yet.
Oh, there's like a login.
A login.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Challenge accepted.
Admin
and password.
Admin password.
Password 1, 2, 3.
Or you have to use what's that? Is it John the Ripper or Jack the Ripper? Or there's like a off the top of my head, I can't remember what the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This actually does look
there's
like
an app.
Yeah. This does look like it's not being protected against brute forcing. Like you can just smash in as many.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Isn't that Jack the Ripper a brute forcer?
Parrot OS, there's like I think on Kali Linux, there's like an app called Jack the Ripper or John the Ripper or some shit like that.
Maybe username Alex and then password
Synergy.
Username Hedron, password Icosa.
Hedron rules.
Hey, did you guys have a little chat about the address, which may or may not be Binance?
We did.
Oh yeah, Mayo mentioned.
Have we got to the bottom of that?
No, we kind of went off it.
I mean, you never know with those addresses, do you? Hey,
it's weird. Like I thought it might have been full of fake tokens and things like that. So I've done a bit of digging around, and it all looks legit. There's a butt ton of money in there. It's definitely bridged across. But yeah, and it seems relatively fresh.
What is it bridged across? Like some USDT or USDC? Or?
I've done a bit of everything. So I've done it in 75k chunks. I've done pretty much all the stables. I've done DAI, USDT, USDC. Or maybe I didn't do USDC, can't recall. But you've done a bunch of different stables. Done some, look like wrap Bitcoin. I think there was some.
Wasn't it 229 ETH?
Yeah, there was some WETH, I think, come across.
And so it's bridged it all over, and it's just sitting there at the moment, not hasn't bought anything, or.
So I think someone in the post said that it had swapped a bunch of stuff for Pulse, which I didn't bother digging into it. I just took their word for that one. But I couldn't. It was a bit hard to see where.
So anyone can look at it. Hey, if it's Binance.eth, you just put that into the browser.
It was PulseChain
Binance.eth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
PulseChain Binance.
So the thing is, anyone can register that name though. But why would you?
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Why would you register it?
Because you want people to think the Binance is coming over, but. Yeah, it's like, what's the play there? Like,
yeah,
is it trolling?
Could be. Yeah, could be someone having a bit of a chuckle. But
Yeah.
big
I mean,
account regardless.
is it an advantage if we start getting listed on things like Binance? It sounds like it's really hard to even like who gets to use Binance nowadays anyway? Like Australians can't use it anymore, can they?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Just
So
all the AUD pairs got delisted, so
Yeah.
I think so I think you can't fiat gateway to dollars, but you can still use it.
Yeah, no more on ramp, off ramp.
Well, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
What else?
No, but
for a HEX community member, that would be the only reason you'd want a centralized exchange.
But Binance was at its biggest and best probably, arguably before it started trying to do all the on ramping stuff. I don't know, like they were a bit of a powerhouse just for trading, really. Everything was there. Like you could go there. The only thing you couldn't do was on ramp to it, and most of the time, the way they accepted funds was not by being by having their own presence in a it wasn't by having their own presence in a country. It was by piggybacking off of an existing service that did have a presence.
They also had Binance went to shit when they got rid of their 2 Bitcoin no KYC rule. Like they used to have a 2 Bitcoin no KYC, and then when they fucked with that, then it just went to shit. It's like,
and the reason why they done that is because they started taking all the fiat on ramps. So then they started having the KYC shit because they pushed from relying on a third party to starting to do it themselves, and that's when it's gone a little sideways.
Yeah, exactly.
Just want to change direction. Do you guys reckon? Like a lot of people have been saying, RH hasn't, like Richard Hart has not streamed in a long time. I think,
dude, that's an understatement. Understatement of the year.
No, but it, like, seriously, yeah, it's an understatement. But what if Richard Hart is waiting for us to get him a decent interview? Like, can
no,
like,
dude, he already
and Pulse. Hang on, the HEX and Pulse community is pretty big now, right? Pretty big. Can we please pool our efforts and try and find someone big enough to warrant him? Like, that's how we're going to get him out streaming.
Dude,
if we can find him someone big enough to say, yeah, I'll stream with him, someone that's big enough.
It's not that. It's not that.
He's already said.
I think it is.
He said he wouldn't do an interview, didn't he?
He said he's not going to interview with anyone until he's happy with everything on PulseChain, and he may release a video before that of just himself. But
didn't he say it's priority?
It's
priority. His priority now is to get shit done.
Hang on. I'm not talking about some like crypto dude like interview. I'm not talking about the same like the people he's interviewed before. I'm talking about a big interview, someone big, different eyeballs, someone that would inevitably onboard a lot of people just because it's a totally different community that is. I don't think he could say no to that. I don't think the marketing Richard Hart could say no to a big interview with someone who has a lot of reach, like, you know, let's say a Tucker Carlson or something like that.
But dude, imagine if you lined up something that epic and then he didn't do it because he was actually serious when he said he's not doing interviews until he's happy with how smooth everything is.
I call his bluff. I would call his bluff on that.
Isn't there another bridge being built? Well, it's, you know, I'm in the Telegram chats. Apparently there's another bridge or something's being built, and that's priority at the moment. They just want to get that done. And then you'll come out.
The bridge with the native PLS. But now we've got this Rabby thing.
Incorporating that into the bridge.
We've got 2 of those already.
Well, they're doing one on testnet. They're doing one on testnet, and then they're going to bring it back onto the real.
Yeah, Sammy's right. He did say that.
Yeah, I saw that.
His native Pulse is holding a lot of everything up because people are
the Rabby, Sammy, the Rabby solution is better than the bridge.
It's good, isn't it? It's smooth as
Yeah.
I used it today.
It's
That's
better.
awesome.
It's less to do. You just it's a transaction within
It's
the
a
wallet.
one button
Yeah.
click.
And then
Yeah.
He did
Yeah,
say
it's
that,
better.
Sammy, but that was before this Rabby thing came out. So I think this maybe is as
But that Rabby thing is not a solution for like buying lots of Pulse. That's only for buying a little bit
That's
to
correct.
start.
Yeah, that's just
Oh.
it's just to
It's
get gas in a wallet.
It's
Unread
just if you've
Pirate
got
in the
your
audience.
copies.
And
Is he?
Johnny
Where-
Chaos. Unread Pirate. The link's in the chat. But
Hey,
Richard Hart was supposed to stream on Crypto Banter on the weekend, but he didn't. 'Cause
that
he's
was
too
fake
busy.
news.
Was it?
I'm expecting he's probably still pretty busy.
I would reckon he
There's
is.
a lot going on.
Get unwrecked
All right,
on.
so
Unwrecked,
all right,
come
here's
on,
let's.
when you come on unwrecked. We haven't seen
The
you for
link-
I
ages.
sent him the link. I sent
link's
Unwrecked the link
in our
so
chat.
He's got it. So all right, let's do this thought experiment. Who is big enough? Like, regardless, okay, he said I'm not going to come out till this stuff is all sorted out. Okay, well, who's big enough to get him out of bed?
Ro Jogan.
Do you really miss him that much, 43? I'll send her a
I
picture
think
of
the
my
community
dude
needs it.
and see if he responds.
Sammy,
Oh,
Richard
the
Hart
community
streaming
needs
is an
it,
instant
bro.
20% pump on fucking everything.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, because that's one of the other narratives that has started to fire up that he's never going to stream again. And so it's like, we've got to shut these narratives down one by one. There was the chain's not going to launch. Now that that's launched, it's like Richard's abandoned.
really, like-
we need to shut that down.
Does the community really need Richard to?
I agree with
stream just
43. It would
just
be
to
like
stroke
an
everyone's
instant pump, man.
egos. Like,
Yeah,
what?
I'm
It
like,
would be an instant pump, bro. It would be an
He's got
instant
shit to
pump.
do. Like, do you really need him to?
Dude, the
do a
price
stream?
pumped. The price pumped just on his tweet saying that he was when he asked about, so he posted something that made it sound like he was going to stream, and the price was already pumping.
But that's yeah,
but
he
that's
could just.
private.
he
that's
could
more of
tweet,
that's
"I'm
more of an
getting on the
issue that
computer."
people.
No, he could
That's what everyone's
tweet, I'm
hanging
about
on.
to go on the computer. That's what he could tweet. I'm about to go on the computer. And everyone would freak the fuck out.
I think if he does a stream when he fixes that native pulse bridge, I'd be happy with that.
But is everyone that fixed?
So if they can fix,
I just don't understand what they need. Richard.
I know. I'm the same. It's like,
Oh, I can give you some examples. This fucking nonsense of this HEX needs to die shit. He needs to come out and squash
He's
that dumb
not.
shit.
He's not
No,
going
he
to say
doesn't.
it either way. It's the
No, he
market
doesn't.
will sort it
it's
out.
just like pure like logic.
Wait,
That's
that's all
like-
he needs to say. That's all he needs to say is let the market work it out. So that is crushing.
but he's already said that.
That is
He's said
Why do
it
you need
before.
him to say that though? Like,
That's what.
You
That,
know, like-
by him not saying it, that is what he's saying.
Do you guys remember how many times he fucking said, I'm not timing the market, and proved it and gave examples and said it would be dumb to, etc. But then people needed to hear it like every fucking month. Otherwise they were like, no, that was in the past. He might have changed his mind. I think he's timing the market. That's how dumb people are.
Yeah.
So
and
so he needs
how
to
many
come
times-
out and actually reiterate
Yeah.
that yes, I said, because people have got these conflicting clips as well as other stuff that sounded like he was saying other shit. He needs to come out and say it just to end it and stop people with this nonsense.
All I'm saying, Jexa, is that
And other shit.
he's such a great marketer that I don't think he could help himself if there was a big enough interview.
no,
I don't think he
you're right.
he could not do it if it was big enough. So we should try and find him a big interview.
Also, there'd be heaps of questions that people want to ask that they want to hear from him.
And there's people saying we should take a chill pill. You take a chill pill, motherfucker.
I've
I
always
want
said,
Daddy, and I want Daddy now.
Teddy Richard. I've always said, like, we can educate within the community, but there is quite a few people in the community that if they don't hear it from Richard, they don't believe it. So we can be out there like educating, but it's better if we are armed with clips of him saying it. So when someone's like, oh, that's not how this works, and you're like, yeah, look, here's a clip of Richard saying it post fucking launch, then people will be more likely to believe it. I really do think it would be quite valuable to have things that he has said to answer people's generic questions about all. This is way more complex than HEX. There's so much going on. We need his like opinions and shutdowns and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. If he comes out, there is no way he's going to back either way, because he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Like he'll give you a nondescript that the market sorted out. I don't know what the price is going to do. I can't tell you what the price is going to do.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. That'll shut down these idiots that are saying that EHEX needs to die. That's
it's
enough.
not going to shut down any idiots. Idiots will come up with stuff no matter what.
Well,
that's why the idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not shut them up, but as in it puts a full stop on it. It's like you just post that clip on their dumbass shit and then just leave it. Then you don't need to reply again. He can't.
Donald Trump and.
Look, it'd be nice to have his stream, but why this big deference to like everything? Like Richard said this. Richard's it's like
that. This is not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either.
I think there's I think there's a misunderstanding of what I'm saying. It's like all this, like you being clingy, all this. This is not what I'm saying.
Yeah, and we're not doing.
What I'm saying is there is a high correlation between Richard Hart streaming and prices pumping.
Yeah,
I like prices pumping.
And
I know Tangent likes some pumping.
And I'm saying, even though we're capable of thinking for ourselves, it makes it a lot easier as educators within the community if we've got the fucking like the proof that Richard actually also thinks or said that. It just makes it so much faster, and people will just believe it and adopt it so much quicker. Otherwise, you've got to like
really. I just get cringe whenever I hear someone say, "Well, Richard said this." I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, think to yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's more powerful among people who outsource their thinking to him, which is, let's be honest, a huge section of the community. So it just makes my life easier to not have to fucking like explain like 100 different things. It's just like, here, he said it.
But even if he does come out and says one thing, the market will still decide.
Yeah.
It's been shown many times with liquidity pools.
Yes, but so I don't think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down.
Like, no, I am.
That's when pools make fees too.
Yeah. I am. Like, I'm picking it up, my friend.
He's not. Okay. I'm not saying he's a dictator. I'm not saying people have to listen to him, but he has influence within the community, and people like to hear it from him, and they believe it when he says it. Some people, like a lot of people, have got that attitude. So it just makes it easier if he has said it, and you can quote him rather than having to like go back to fucking first principles and start teaching people cryptography so that they will believe shit that is clearly fucking true. Like it just shortcuts the shit for dumbasses. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think what Johnny Chaos has said there, he's in observation mode. He's trying to give the market the chance to self-organize, I think. And yeah, we're running around like bloody idiots screaming at each other. I think we all want everything to succeed. Yeah, we all want it to succeed. And I think people are in a rush to get to an outcome. And I think you've got to let it evolve over time. It'll get there eventually, whichever way it forms. And I think there's a good argument on either side of both opinions. So I see the good in everyone's arguments, and I think it's just a matter of time where I think value will eventually flow over to Pulse, but you can't just sort of shut it off now. That's going to be a gradual thing. You've got people that are in the ecosystem for 15 years. It's going to be
organic. It's
got to be organic, yeah. And everyone's trying to rush it forward. You just got to let it happen. And they talk about the parity thing, and I must admit I was heavily on the side of the parity thing. I've listened to other guys, and I think they've got some really good points. But I think if you cut it off now, if you try and rip the Band-Aid off, as I'd like to, you get rid of the mechanism where you can actually transfer value across in an orderly fashion. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing now. It can come across in an orderly fashion over years if it has to. So I think, yeah, you just gotta let it play out.
I just take what he says at face value. If he says, I'm not streaming until I'm happy with how everything is, I just assume that he's telling the truth. I don't think that's such a crazy idea. This is the same as this timing the market shit. He said he wasn't timing the market. So I'm like, he's not timing the market. And I think when people try to come up with these other ideas like, oh, nah, he is, but this and this and this and shit. I'm just like, why? Why are you making shit up?
Yeah.
Like, why are you assuming that he's a fucking liar?
Yeah.
When he said the shit. Just take what he said at face
I
value. He said the shit.
I agree,
Believe the
Ken.
shit. Like,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
But do you see the irony in that? Though? Even he came out and said that, and everyone should take it at face value, but no one does. So it doesn't matter what he comes out and says. People are going to run around anyway.
Yeah, like he puts out a tweet saying, "If reply to this, and I'll block you," and people start replying.
no, but it was deliberate. That was deliberate. That was,
No, that's what he's saying. He's saying that, like, people
are.
just don't fucking read.
It's stupid.
Fuck. I might just fuck it. I might just crash the PHEX price even if people do shut up. Fuck this. Fuck this noise. I'm getting bored of this shit. Like, there's too many dumb fucks that need to learn. Let's do it.
Okay, you do that, and I'll buy some more.
Who's down? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying that.
What else do you people want, man? What else do you people want?
Fuck. I think I might need to take a break from crypto.
That reward me now.
You want an LP that rewards you. Bro, I've been saying it from the start. If you want to earn yield, there's something called the HEX contract. That's it.
So what are they going to do? They're going to relaunch the contract. How are they going to fix that? You got to relaunch that.
Yep.
Oh, that's not too. Oh, I guess you got to do all the pairs again, don't you? Is that true?
I think they're going to.
Everyone is going to have to take it out of their pair, and then once the thing is fixed, put it back in. I think
they're going to run them in parallel, like for until everyone can get their shit over to the new contract. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yep. Yeah. I guess it's better to find that now before you. Oh no, there is quite a lot of pairs, isn't there? Because the AMM went through it. AMM went through it. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's a bit of a work. No wonder he's not streaming.
Did the AMM really create all those pairs? I don't see really that many on deck screen. I guess it only shows ones that are active or something.
Yeah, there's like I think it was 3,000 or something like that, or
shit,
100 or something. Yeah. So when you go, just click on PulseChain, it shows you the first 50 or something like
pages
that.
of them.
Yeah.
God damn. Oh well. I'm sure they'll fix it. Like, as in,
no shit. It doesn't bode well for like trying to convince people to come over with the ERC20s though. Either.
It is early though. Like Jex, was it Jex that said it's better now than later?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Better now than in a year.
And I don't know whether this played out this way, but a while back, Richard was, when I say a while back, a month or so, Richard was asking how much liquidity he should release into the pools initially. So maybe there's a couple of waves of that to come as well. So you probably have to rerun the bot anyway.
Wait, there's some people that run the narrative like everything is like Galaxy Brain 5D chess. Everything that Richard does is deliberate. The blocked bridge was deliberate. The fucking delayed launch. Like they just, in their minds, they think that literally everything that he has done has been some fucking master plan, and none of it was like by accident or like not what he wanted. It was like all planned. I wonder how they're going to spin this and incorporate like, that was deliberate too. Just like fuck the initial PulseX launch.
The man's got a plan.
I'm sure they'll come up with a way of spinning it.
I still think he's coming back ripped. You're going to be jacked. All like roided up. All roided up and shit.
He's going to rotate into a body.
Do you reckon he'll still have hair?
YouTube channel.
What'd you say? Do I reckon he'll still have hair? I hadn't
put
any thought into that. What do you think he'll shave his head?
No, all his hair's falling out because of all the stress of launch.
Oh.
And then all the roids, lose your hair.
Fuck.
So I have to wear his top hat again.
it will be forgotten in 3 months. That's how crypto works. Goldfish brains. What are we talking about? The LP thing?
Yeah. No one lost any of their bag. Lost a few fees. That's about it. They got rewarded anyway, didn't they? So.
We got ratio basically. That's what happened.
Yeah.
The bug. Yep.
Hey, can you short HEX on fiat yet?
Yeah.
Oh, it's up and running, is it?
Oh, I assumed it was.
Yeah.
They launched it and everything, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Tangent.
They put it up and they put up a challenge.
Tangent. Be fucking careful, bro. Be fucking careful, dude.
Andrew wants to dump the PulseX price.
Dude, I'm getting bored, or I'm getting like frustrated with dumbasses or something, man. I've either got to exit crypto or just do something crazy. Like,
bro, you should just stake and chill. You're creating your own problem here, Tangent.
You've been going
just
hard.
stake and chill. If you're getting too antsy with all those fucking mountains of HEX in your addresses, just stake it all for even if it's for a shorter term and chill.
The reason why I've got
some of it in the real world, mate.
The reason I've got like above average, like way above average liquid is because I had a policy leading into when I thought PulseChain was going to launch that I wanted my staking strategy to be different on the two chains. So when stakes were ending, I wasn't restaking them when I normally would. And then the shit was delayed for like 2 fucking years. So I've got like so much more liquid than I would normally have if either PulseChain had launched correct, like when we thought, or if we had known that it was going to take that long, I would have restaked. So I just have this situation where I'm like way more liquid than I would have otherwise been, which obviously becomes a benefit if you need to like crush haters. But well,
that's good. I think you should crush the haters, which will give me a good opportunity to scoop some up.
I've been loving the replies that people say like that, where they're like, "Yeah, like do it, do it. I'll get cheap HEX," and I'm just like, "Careful what you wish for, bro, because I'm not like you might think that's what you want, but when it literally goes to zero, you will not be happy about it." And I'm just thinking, didn't someone say if you short something and then you actually goes to zero, then you still get fucked? Like if you're short and you send it to zero, does that? Because then isn't the asset? Oh, it depends what you did. Depends how you set up the short.
No, because you have sold it all the way down. So
it can't be zero.
It can't. How can you get it to zero if people are buying you up? Even if they don't buy you all up, it's not going to zero.
But if you're shorting, if
you're short, you don't want it to you don't want to completely kill it, because then I think you still lose money even if you're short, right? If the asset becomes like, if you completely fuck it. I can't remember who said that. Might have been Richard. Dude, but anyway, we need to see if they've got short.
Like egging you on, dude. People in the chat are like,
are they saying to do it? Careful what you wish for, Anons.
Won't do it.
Oh, I know. I love that reverse psychology. Oh, yes. Oh, wait, I made a poll on Twitter. I was like, what do you guys think? Should I delete those tweets where I was like threatening war? And everyone's like, fucking light them up, bro. So I think people
light them up. I said light them up.
Fucking light them up. By the way, it's not just me. It's not just me, by the way. There are others who are keen to fucking teach people a lesson. So it's not just me. So if it happens, it might not even be me, by the way, just in case. If you see an address, do it, just so that as a preventative,
I'm just going to assume it's you now, man.
Because
it's you no matter what now. You've dug yourself a hole.
It can never go to zero. It can never go to zero.
Yeah, well, I mean, it technically can't go to zero if it's got a V2 pool. Like, as in, we know it technically can't do to go to zero. But I've done the math, bro, and like, it can go close.
Risology wants you to teach us a lesson.
Teach us a lesson. Oh man.
So the aggregate total of both hexes at the moment is 3 cents.
Fuck.
Which is still like
It's still not. Yeah, it still didn't go to
it's
2.
still not like 1.2. Did it go down to 1.2 at one stage? Like it was just
the
one?
Ethereum side definitely went to like it wicked down to like 1.1 cents, I think. But remember, for people who are claiming that they thought Hex was going to go to 2 cents, you have to add them together because when the people were making that call, there was only one. So you can't claim that you were right about a price call when there's been a fork in between when you said it and now. So you have to add the two together, which means it never actually even hit 2 cents. It went down to like, I think it went down to low 2s, but it never actually got to 2.
Dude, Brizology's calling you out, bro. He's calling you out.
I know, right?
All bark, no bite.
Wait, this guy's keen. This guy's keen. Oh, maybe Brizology is 100% allocated in the other direction. Maybe he's got all HEX. It's possible. It's possible. He might have.
Yeah. So, what is your plan? What is your plan to crush the haters? Are you going? Is the plan to sell one side and buy the other, or just sell one side and wait and see what happens and not buy the other?
Well, look, I promised people that if they were like adequately split across the two assets, then they would feel no pain. So that would probably like
exactly.
You can assume what you want from that, but that would probably require it to be actually that you're selling one for the other, or that whatever you get out in economic energy out of the system that you put it into the other side.
So basically, I want if someone like me wants to put more fiat in, you crush one side, I buy that, and then you still benefit my other side anyway.
No promises of future work, guys. No promises of future decimation of your bags for being disrespectful to my bags. Like we don't have expectations for the wreckage from others. Okay, we don't have expectations of wreckage from the fucking lessons taught by others. That's the deal.
So we're about to go through a period of extreme volatility now. Then, even more extreme because.
Are you talking about generally, or
just if we're going to remove all liquidity out of pools?
Oh, perfect.
So no one.
Perfect timing, bro. So the stars aligning.
So everyone if you're not getting
their liquidity out to
if you're not getting
fees, other LPs, then bam.
If you're not getting any fees, but you're exposed to impermanent loss, are people going to pull all their liquidity now? That could lead for a little bit of a roller coaster ride. So they say
I'm staked in HEX. I don't give a fuck.
Maybe you're better off waiting till the herd all pulls their liquidity first.
Well, it depends. It might be depends if these people are still farming.
From 2 years ago, man. I'm
staked.
What are you going to do? I'm staked. That's it. Staked out in HEX. Doesn't matter what happens. In a couple of years, then it matters, hey? That's the point. Don't have to go through all the stress. You don't have to be stressed. You don't have to like have these narratives going on. You can just like stake and not worry about any of it. Anyway, go on.
So that would be pretty ultimate level shit. Imagine fiat launches the ability to short. The new contracts come out on PulseX, which means people have to remove their LP, and maybe like another one of my big stakes comes due or something like that, and it's just like universal alignment, just ready to fuck shit up.
That's a Terra Luna event where they pull all their liquidity at the exact point in time when someone decided to crush it.
And the thing is, like everyone's saying, like, oh, that's sick. I'll fucking buy cheap HEX. You'd be fucking surprised when the price is heading to zero, how many other people will fucking panic because there's people that don't watch this stream and won't know what the fuck is going on. And they'll see that shit going to zero and they will fucking dump on you as well. They will join that shit. It'll be like a fucking reverse tsunami. So be careful what you wish for.
You know, there's like prices of HEX that are so low that you know that whole thing about like Bitcoin can never go to zero because there are prices of Bitcoin that are so low that there will be people who just buy it even if like they just to own it, and then they're going to have like massive bags, even if it's not worth anything. They're just going to own massive bags of it, and it's just like, haha, motherfuckers, I have massive bags of it.
Yes, people say that, and then when it gets down that low, they are fucking scared because they're fucking anons. They're noobs.
You know what's really weird is like we still see people trading the fake wrapped Bitcoin over on PulseChain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I bought
damn,
some.
man.
And I sold it as well.
That is
themselves.
why you need that website, that website I brought up before.
Yeah, I know. But I bought it when I knew it was fake because it's still pumping.
Damn.
You just went full degen, Sammy.
I know, but it was fun. I thought it would go up a little bit more, but you know, I mean, for something that's fake, it pumps pretty hard.
Yeah, like that fake Bitcoin is currently trading at $65. It's got nearly $400,000 of liquidity.
Wow.
Yeah, because remember,
and there's
they put
been nearly 1,000 transactions in the last 24 hours.
Sorry,
people
I meant
are
farm.
trading it.
They put a farm up, like PulseX had a temporary farm up that made people add liquidity to that exact pair.
Yeah, for like for 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, but that might have been enough for people to think it's legit or to add the liquidity and then.
Yeah, but they should have worked it out by now. You're not getting Bitcoin for $65.
So what was the purpose of? Was there a reason behind listing it in a farm? Or we just tested something out?
It was a mistake. It must have been a mistake.
That's another question.
Richard, with the 20,000% APR when it came out for like a few minutes.
It pumped massive. It pumped hell hard.
I think it was a strategy to get the Bitcoin as a on PulseChain.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. That's a good theory. There was a tweet that Richard did where he said, "Yo, Bitcoin's reached new all-time high over on PulseChain because it like pumped."
Yes, I think it was just an attention. The man with the plan.
17.
It gets eyes on everything, even if it's just for a little period of time.
Wait, I will give you guys a tip though. Every time someone says to me to do it, I want to do it even more. And every time someone says not to do it, I want to do it even more. So the only strategy that you have is to shut the fuck up. That's my tip. You've got to shut the fuck up. That's literally the only play.
I agree. Everyone should shut the fuck up on Twitter because, yeah, I haven't even been going through the tweets because everyone else has been telling me how shitful the fighting, the in-house fighting carry on is. I'm like, I got no time for that shit.
Yeah.
And apparently even OGs are getting in there and saying they're going to dump their EHEX, PHEX, blah, blah, blah. I'm just not, I think they're both going to do extremely well, and I'm just sitting back watching the shit
Hey,
show.
something else I found out about the that I probably haven't mentioned on the show yet is when the fork happened, someone ran a script on the HSI auctions to basically start all the auctions before anyone could actually bid on anything. And they ran it and basically just scored a whole lot of like incredibly cheap HEX stakes from just doing that.
So as soon as it forked over, they went in and picked it up off the other side?
Yeah.
How much HEX are we talking about, Blue Bum?
I don't know.
Because there was talk of that. There was talk that a couple of community members somehow did something and got millions and millions, like cleaned up, made like $1 million or $750,000 within the first 4 hours of PulseChain launch by doing something like that.
I'll ask Alex. I don't know if it was that much, but yeah, I know that happened.
So how does
like if you're smart enough to know how to write a script to do that and do it,
That's
get
all
in
fair
there.
game, isn't it?
Yeah, and like someone could have been watching that, and if they knew that tech as well, they could have started bidding on all of them or something. Hey,
Do you know if it was before or after the point where it was like actually publicly connectable, i.e., that would give you like power of deduction that if it's before that point, then it could have only been a limited number of people, whereas if it's in the next window along, then it could have been anyone?
No, I think it was like I think they ran a script to do it directly through to the contract, not through the UI. So it was somewhat. It was only a limited amount of people who were that tech savvy.
But as in, remember how like when it launched, that there was a period of time where you wouldn't have even been able to run a script because it was not publicly accessible, like the first 2 days or some shit.
But
it doesn't really matter. It doesn't
running
really
a script.
matter,
I think running a script is basically not going through the UI. It's going directly to the blockchain.
Yes, but you still need to be able to contact the blockchain. There was a period of time where it was like being run privately, like while the AMM bot was being run.
As soon as it was forked, you could contact the blockchain.
No, there was a period of time where it was not publicly contactable. For while they were running the AMM bot and all of that.
So it has to be a validator or something.
There was like a 2-day period.
So
wasn't there a time where you could?
There was a period of time where we could not contact it, like we could not do it, whether front end or not. But like anyone who had access to the private environment would have been able to. So that would maybe be able to deduct.
But it's still a public. It's not a It's still a public thing. It's just whether people know how to do it or not. No.
You can use firewalls, like so. You can have
it
running.
Didn't firewall the blockchain.
You can have it. Yeah, you can.
Oh, I'm not sure. I have no idea.
You could restrict who can call the RPC to actually communicate with it. You could lock it down.
That's how this was launched. Yeah. So I'm just saying that would maybe, if you could look at the timing, like as in, because obviously the blockchain doesn't lie in terms of like when it was done, you could maybe help. That would maybe help to work out who it could have been. But obviously, if it's after that point where it became publicly accessible, then it could be literally anyone. But like Bluey pointed out, anyone who was technically capable.
No, you'd have to be onto it. Like someone's obviously had a grand plan. Good on them. I'm sure there was plenty of little sweet deals that were done like that. If you knew something intimately enough, you could.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, Richard was going to try and prevent people gaming the system, but the vectors were just too numerous to make sure that everything was closed off, you know?
Yeah. No, that's all fair game.
So, but so Par Excellence says May 10th was the fork day, but Arrange announced the RPC details 2 days later. So would have the validators... So the validators didn't even know that either. He just spun up his own validators and that's it. And he just had it going for 2 days before all the other validators jumped on and everyone knew the RPC settings and stuff.
Yeah. So in the same way that they were running like private test nets, the main net would have started off not contactable by the outside world, and then they would have just opened it up 2 days later once everything was like sorted. Because otherwise you'd have pricks coming on there like trading while the bot's trying to do the ratios and shit. It'd be fucked. Like you had to have that period of time where people couldn't come in and fuck shit up and start doing random shit on the chain.
Oh, okay. I assume then it would have been after that, because the only other that means that RH was like, or the devs were like coming in and scooping up all of the auctions, which doesn't sound like right to me.
All the devs' mates, or someone's told all their mates that they're launching PulseChain and got in early.
Oh, that would have been pretty restricted info. Like,
I don't think
Dad's not going to tell their mates.
But it can happen. Tell me you wouldn't tell your best mate. I know I would. I'd be like,
I reckon Richard would have had him under like tight NDAs and shit.
Yeah,
I reckon he would have had him like. He would have had.
But also, they've been working on this thing for 2 years. They don't want to fuck it up just because someone tells their mate something. That's
there's reputational damage. Like you do this once, and your name's fucking mud from that point on. If you've fought out.
Yeah, and I've always said even like their respect for Richard would probably be high enough that even if they weren't under NDAs, they just wouldn't pull shit like that. If he said to them, definitely don't tell anyone, I think they would. Like you saw how like the devs were getting pressured for info, and they would typically not release any info unless Richard was happy to release it.
I'm pretty sure there would have been a key person that eventually like pushed the button or had control over. Okay, let's make it public. Like you'd have to get it to that point. You couldn't have too many endpoints there where you're relying on different people. It would be okay. Someone's gonna open the phone. Yeah, then we go.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have been pretty diligent.
Well, I'm gonna say goodbye. I gotta go. My battery's going dead.
See you, Mayo. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
It is
See you
too.
later, Mayo.
I should be home early next week, so I'll be back. I'm in PC with good internet.
Cheers, mate.
Gotcha.
The audio was fine the whole time. Like, so it was only just the picture that was laggy.
Is that true? Why Alec in for days? Is that? I thought it was pretty much.
He did it
straight
super
away.
quick. Yeah, he was
Man.
like
Yeah.
that was up super fast.
It was really quick.
I mean, it's the only place you can do hex stakes on PulseChain.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other places, but that's reliable and.
I don't think there's any places you can do it on PulseChain at the moment.
I
think
don't
that's
know.
it.
No.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so fast. He's so fast.
Yeah.
Has he got a team of devs, or is that him?
It's just him. It's literally just
amazing.
him.
Fuck, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he was first on Ethereum proof of work as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Ethereum Fair.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive. The dude mustn't sleep.
I think it's partially because it's only him that he can kind of do stuff really quick.
Move quick.
So it doesn't have to. Yeah, you can just
Nimble.
Yeah.
In the early days of Hedron, I think he just moves really quickly, because I remember when I was testing, I was just playing around with it, and there was something to do with decimal places, like it wasn't showing up in the wallets properly, and I messaged him in the Telegram, and he fixed it like he was like, oh yep, and he fixed it within like 20 minutes or something like that. So he must just have everything just ready to go, like in front of him, ready at all times.
43. There's another privacy solution that I remembered, like I forgot, and then remembered this other one. I knew there was three. HoudiniSwap.com apparently supports PulseChain now as well.
Oh, really?
So, what do we got?
Beanie Swap.
Yeah, it's got Pulse. So this Houdini swap thing, you choose whether you want it to be anonymous or non-anonymous. You choose whether you want it to be variable or exact. I assume that exact means that then you're more likely to have it so that you'll be in a crowd because you're all doing the same amount. Single or multi-send, and then the receiving wallet address.
But what is like? So there's a contract on. There was a contract on Ethereum, and it got copied over, or they must have deployed another contract.
Typically, these cross-chain pools, particularly when they've got ones like Bitcoin and Monero and shit, it means that they have to have like market makers that create the pools between those assets. So
Okay, so this, but unless they've deployed something natively on Pulse, then it's just a bridge that you're trusting these people to not divulge to not give away your information. So it could actually be. I mean, without knowing, unless there's a contract on Pulse that's native to Pulse, then you're really just trusting them, and that's not the sort of privacy solution that I'm looking for.
Yes, I mean, like you would need to we don't know for sure. Like, as in, it says that it's private, so we would just need to look into. Like, I asked that other project, the Block Blender, if their source code is available, and they haven't replied yet. So I guess these are sorts of questions that are required to ask. Yeah.
So
we could just read the website.
Is Beetroot any good? Like, it seems like complicated. There's a few, 3 or 4 different parts to it. I haven't gone right down the rabbit hole with that, but has anyone checked it out? If it's legit or not?
Which one was that? Sorry.
Beetroot one.
I mean, I've been following Beetroot World for a while now, and I was doing like bridging over to Monero and back, and that was working awesome. And and I've been hanging out in the chat a little bit. I haven't. It looks all really legit and really awesome.
It just seems a little bit confusing. Like there's 3 or 4 different components to it, so I've got to spend some more time.
Houdini uses Monero.
That's I was just about to say. They claim that behind the scenes, they're taking whatever you send, converting it into Monero, sending it to a second place, and then from there. But they're using. They're claiming that they're basically using 2 centralized exchanges to do it. So you send them the asset, they change it into Monero, send it with Monero to their other exchange, and then change it into the other thing that you want, and then send from there. So it sounds very.
Just use Monero. Why use it through them? Just use Monero yourself.
You're right. You could side shift. You could do like side shift or change now yourself. You could effectively do this strategy yourself, and then you don't have to trust them. Good point.
You have to trust side shift. You have to trust.
Not really, because
that's why. But this is why the best solutions are the on-chain solutions. Like, they're the best solutions. You don't have to have trust that.
But you don't have to trust side shift when you're shifting it to Monero, and then like you're doing this thing that they.
You do, because it's a bridge.
But they'll never see where it comes out the other side, because you've gone to Monero in the middle.
But that's not the point. Like, the point is that you're trusting someone, and that's why the on-chain. That's why Tornado was so good, because you're not trusting anyone. It's just the contract, and it's the chain.
Yeah, but if you want to go cross chain, because Tornado didn't go cross chain, right? Like, it was only on one chain.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't want to, like, if you're just needing
anonymity,
like your privacy.
If you want to stay on the same chain, then yeah, it's good to have like a single solution that's on the chain.
Because
if you're going cross chain anyway, then this is pretty sweet.
Then you could just use that solution and then bridge out of the chain and go wherever you like, and it's already anonymized. You don't have to go out of the chain, anonymize off chain. Do you know what I mean? Because then you're followed off chain.
Yes.
With that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying, that it would be even better if you can not like mix it before you even send it off the chain.
So what's happened to Tornado? Like, did people put other front ends up, and people still keep using the contract, or did they fork the contracts, or like?
There's an IPFS site that you can use, I think, with the contracts.
So you can still use Tornado Cash.
Yeah. There's something to do with relays, isn't it?
Good point.
Yeah, relays.
I think that's what Hurricash was solving. They didn't need to use relayers.
Yeah, I like the idea of Hurricash. I agree with you, Tangent, though, that the whole putting in the address in advance is not.
It's not
like ideally you that note that you get should be like a bank check, right? That's the way I reckon. It should be like a bank check. You could actually give it to someone and say, hey, this is like this is 100,000 pulse or whatever.
So it's completely fine. So depending on the threat actor or like the scenario that you're dealing with. So it's completely fine if you just want to physically break the on-chain shit so that your friend or some Zach BTC CoffeeZilla style internet sleuth can't follow shit, then it's good enough for that. But it's probably not good enough if you're like hyper paranoid and want like nation state level privacy. Or at least you can't assume that you have privacy against that because of that shit where you've put the receiver address in at the same time that you're using it. So all that shit could be logged together, like IP address, input address, and output address could all be logged in one package. But for the purpose that I had the other day when I was like, I urgently need a privacy solution, it actually would have been fine, but I just couldn't get it working.
Yeah, we're going to wind it up in about 10 minutes. Well, we have to wind it up within 10 minutes because the Wake Up Hex crew start.
Are waking up.
Yeah. Well, Tangent, I've always thought that like, a couple of solutions is always a better way to go, because if you do privacy on chain and then go to like Monero, and like I've always thought that's always better than just one solution, because a lot of people are talking about secret network and all of that, but the problem with secret network is centralized wallet and like node infrastructure, and the bridging is centralized as well. So that's the only problem. I agree. I mean, it's good from anonymity, but they can see what's going on. So that's problematic.
If you layer your privacy solutions, it means that even if you find out later down the track that one of them was like backdoored or some shit like that, you're like, that's fine. They get one hop and then they've got the same problem again. So I agree. That's the way to do it. Just for your own peace of mind, because you never know for sure, right? Like you're either trusting the tech or you're trusting someone, or like there's an element of unknown in everything. I mean, even something that you review and you're like, this is all legit, it could get like they could crack the cryptography or some shit like in the future. So yeah, that's the way to do it.
And just remember the server that you're exiting on, like they know the site that you're going to. So VPNs are only good up until a certain point. Tor is like better. Tor is better.
I don't think this coin is going to go up in value. So this is not an endorsement to buy it, but I have got newfound respect for Monero. Like with all the like thinking through all this shit you have to think about in terms of like address control and coin mixing and all this fucking nonsense, when you like, it's just a relief to have a coin where it's just native privacy, where you're just like, I don't have to fucking think. Like every time you send it, every time you receive it, it's all native on the fucking base layer. You don't have to fuck around with any of this shit. Theoretically.
And Portal X is the Powered City. Are they gonna bridge? You're gonna be able to bridge Pulse to Monero, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Is that right?
I think that's true.
Sick.
I think, that must be ready release very soon. I think they've been working hard.
Did Beetroot World drop their sacrifice coins yet?
I don't know.
I think it's probably either today or tomorrow they launch.
Oh, cool.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to give everyone a toilet break. Final word, Sammy.
Follow me at Sammy Chica, and make sure you come to the Sydney meetup because it's going to be a lot of fun. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Let's all be friends. We can do this together.
The kumbaya shit.
That's all I got.
Louis,
Fun
final
guys.
words.
For me, hex on both chains is a no-brainer. Don't fud your own bags, duh. And yeah, can't wait to see what Alex comes up with. Very intriguing.
Interesting few months ahead of us. So this is just the beginning. A few teething issues.
Just a
I'm sure
little teething issue. The critical have been refined.
Okay.
Tangent.
This
Anything?
this chart, this chart we found with the like combined hex prices and stuff like that, does it update frequently or is it only daily or something? I think it might only update daily.
Not sure. But Crispy's around. Probably ask him on Twitter.
All right. You guys know the deal. Everything that I say is jokes. Don't panic and fucking let's do this. LFG.
Thanks to everyone in the chat. You guys are great. Yeah, we'll see you next week for some more Hex Late Show.